I hope people can't tell what kind of pants I'm wearing.
Well, we're live now.
Pants. Oh,
So now they'll
it was
know.
a joke, people. I'm wearing pajamas. What?
Okay, you say that right when we start.
What?
I hope they don't know what pants I'm wearing.
Because it's no pants.
Let's see if it's working here. Get the stream up on my end.
I see it. Oh, I forgot to turn
It's
Wi-Fi
working on
off.
mine. Goody good. And all right, we're ready to begin.
Jimmy crank, and I don't crank.
What's that?
From Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
Grimmy crank
Shoot.
horn.
Anyways, welcome back to the Tailosive Talks podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am joined by our special guest. She's amazing. She's a singer. She's a dancer. She's a beautiful model.
A dancer.
And her name is Louise Erickson. Thank
That
you for
is
taking
me.
the time to come onto my little YouTube channel here. It really means a lot. I feel very
Thank
special
you for having me
that
on.
you've blessed us with your presence.
Please tell me more.
Which is quite marvelous. So you recently starred in a couple of films, pretty big budget ones. You were in a Star Wars movie, you were in an Avengers film, and you recently became the most popular female rapper on both Apple Music and Spotify. So tell us about, did you ever expect to reach this level of success in your life? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
It was destined from birth.
I think the same way about my success, but which is infant compared to yours.
Infant.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're my baby.
Yeah. Yes, it's quite juvenile.
How are you doing today, Drew?
Pretty good. I am doing well. Today was kind of a long day because we were all expecting Apple hardware refreshes that never happened. So we were kind of waiting all day, checking our Apple Watch Series 4s, waiting to see what was going to happen, and then nothing happened. So it's kind of like, do we do something now? Do we wait? Do we act? And then we got a bunch of leaks later, but yeah.
Speaking of leaks,
Yeah.
when was the last time you drank some water?
I had some milk earlier.
Well,
Some
we
milk?
had a request from the chat for
What's
you to
that?
drink some water.
Oh,
So
okay.
please
I'd love to. I love
take a
drinking
sacred
water.
sip.
Have you ever seen those Kickstarter campaigns for the smart water bottles
Does it
that measure your input?
have AR glasses built into them?
Mm-mm. It's just a bottle that can detect what you pour into it,
Okay.
and then it detects how much you drink from it.
Oh, interesting.
And the Kickstarter started about 7 years ago, and it's never come out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
does
pretty
the
sure they
product
went
not
bankrupt.
exist?
I don't
Or
think so.
it was too
I
expensive?
think they made it up,
Really?
and they just got a bunch of money.
What happens
for the
to all that
idea.
money?
I don't know. I don't think they get refunded.
That kind of sucks.
I think it was called Vessel.
How do they keep people from defrauding people?
I think it's terms and conditions you agree to when you donate to a GoFundMe.
So we should just create some fake product that cures cancer and sadness.
Like AirPower.
Yeah.
That's what that does.
Cancer, though.
Yeah, it cures cancer. Actually, sorry, no, it causes cancer. Sorry.
The
typo
radiation.
there. Just a small typo. We got a super chat, though. From
Hey, it's
Trainer
Kaiten.
Kaiten again. Thank you very much. What did he say?
He said, I literally was listening to one of your old podcasts that I missed when I got the notification that you went live, crying, smiling face.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate, and that's so generous of you.
You're very generous. He's like a routine donator, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
we should have him on this podcast. He seems like
We
an
should.
interesting guy.
We should. Speaking of people we're going to have on the podcast,
Yes.
Elon Musk lowered the price of the Tesla
Hey,
today.
why would you do that?
And Paul's coming on the podcast later.
Yeah. Paul who?
Paul. Just Paul.
Paul Gross Close is
Yeah.
our first
A YouTuber
First
I
official
enjoy.
guest?
First Talks podcast. Well, we will have I guess for the series 2, you could say, the revival of the Talks podcast. Yeah. That'll be the first.
What day are you doing it?
Tuesday.
And then Thursday.
Thursday, we'll probably do one with me, Randy, and Nick, because that's the
Okay.
day they get here. So
Cool.
we'll do one where we try to not talk about tech as much as possible, or specifically the Model Y, because that's all Nick wants to talk about. Oh, we had Ross. That's true.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Can't forget Ross.
Oh, Ross is being deployed.
He is. He announced, by the way, if you guys remember Ross, he got deployed to Kuwait.
Well, he will be getting deployed
next week.
Yeah.
He's leaving, which if you don't know where Kuwait is, it's just south of Iraq. So basically all the way around the world. It's like a 13-hour time difference.
Wow.
So pretty far.
I mean, we don't even really talk to him much now. So it's like, how will this...
Not too much. He texts me in movie quotes, by the way. If you thought he was
He's
crazy
literally the same person.
He's
over
like that
text.
over text.
Yeah.
He is. Well, we got a second super chat from Sam, the MD. What did he say?
Sam, he says we need an update on Leafy ASAP.
What is the update on Leafy?
So here's Leafy, if I can reach him. He is still the same, except I just put him in the husk that he died in. So here he is. He's kind of just flopping around.
He did.
Yeah, he's very dead.
We'll just see how long he can stay green for.
Yeah.
As long as possible.
Well, he doesn't need water, so it's okay. He looks nice.
Oh, Rob Knotts took advantage of that. Thank you for the dual super chat, Rob. Someone posted this on Twitter today.
Dual super chat.
I haven't been able to recreate it. I keep trying to find it, but I can't find it anywhere. You may not know this, but someone posted on Twitter today that because they have YouTube Premium, they get $2 of free super chat.
Wow.
That they can use on any stream they want.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I have YouTube Premium, but I'm not able to find the option when I'm in live streams for some reason. I can't find it.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty...
Yeah, I've seen a few people post pictures of it. Oh,
Wow.
Rob says they got a notification. It's like you had 2 free
Awesome.
99-cent super chats. So if
So
you have
that's
YouTube
different
Premium,
than YouTube Red, correct? Because YouTube Premium costs more
YouTube
money.
Red is gone.
But you still have it. You were grandfathered in.
If you have YouTube Red, if you paid for YouTube Red before Premium came out, you were grandfathered into YouTube Premium. But yeah,
Also,
YouTube Red costed
people
money.
are saying our water bottle sounds like a dolphin.
It does.
Can I have a sip?
It does sound like a dolphin. You can do an ASMR
Ooh,
video.
another super chat from Russell.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully we get AirPower tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you surprised it didn't show up today? Because I know some people were predicting that it was
I'm
going
not
to be.
super shocked because there are a lot of things that could have come out today. AirPower was one of them. It wasn't like the thing we were anticipating. There was still a lot of speculation that a new iPod was going to come out today. There was a lot of speculation that the Red 10S would come out today. So AirPower was one of many things that could have come out today. The one thing a lot of people weren't predicting was nothing because we got in 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
So
So
they
maybe
thought-
tomorrow there'll be everything else at once.
That's what everyone's anticipating. There are a couple reasons they might have not done it today. A couple theories
Why do you
people
think?
had. Well, today the iPad Mini and iPad Air review embargo was lifted.
What does that
So,
mean?
Basically, certain YouTubers with special privileges get iPads or any product really early, and they get to use them, and they can film them, and they can talk about them, but they can't publish the review of that product until the embargo is lifted.
Okay.
So Renee Ritchie was a good example, good friend of mine.
Good friend of yours. What?
Yeah,
you
we
went on his
watched-
channel like once.
I never went on his channel.
He went on your channel.
He went on my podcast. He
Yes.
watches my videos.
So that means you're good friends?
And he replies to my tweets, and I follow him on Twitter. We go back and forth. We're
So then
fun.
you're friends with like 50,000 people.
No, because I follow like 60 people.
Okay. So you're friends with 60 people.
And only a few of them interact with me back and forth. Anyway, he used me in one of his videos recently.
He used you? Did
No,
you?
like he downloaded my footage and he said, and Drew from Tailosive Tech mentioned this.
Aw,
and then he cut to my footage
nice.
with my name and linked to my channel and everything. That was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got the iPads early. And then once the embargo was lifted, he instantly published his review on it. So that means that a ton of people published, as well as like The Verge and a ton of other news article sites, they all published their iPad reviews today. So it's possible Apple didn't want to step on that, and they just wanted today to be about the news reporting on the new iPads.
Right. This is the
and-
iPad Air refresh. That's
and
like
the iPad Mini.
the old-fashioned iPad. Or Or is the iPad Mini
it's
the
more like a
old-fashioned one?
scaled down version of the 2017 iPad Pro. So the iPad you have at home, it's like a cheaper version of that. And then the iPad Mini hasn't been refreshed in 4 years. So it hasn't been touched in a long time.
Another super chat from Russell. He said, and is iPod Touch definitely tomorrow?
No, nothing is definite. It could be another nothing tomorrow. We don't know. iPod Touch has been heavily suggested and rumored, but definitely not confirmed.
The event is on Monday, correct?
Right, but
so
we're
then
all
maybe
thinking the event's going to have no hardware.
Really?
Yeah,
well, if they're not
releasing so
releasing,
much.
if they're not releasing the rest, so maybe they're building it up to the best stuff at the end.
They could. It's possible. It's totally possible. But personally, there's a lot of analysts like Bloomberg analysts out there that were saying like the reason they're doing the hardware now is because they want the event to just be about services, and they don't want to talk about any of the hardware at the event. So that's the running theory as of now.
I feel like that's the best time to talk about hardware because you have people actually there that can try it out.
Yeah. I don't mind this either though, because those events always have a ton of fluff. They always have a ton of like.
Yeah, can we have this like a drive-through wedding?
It's like let's just get it out.
Our wedding took 15 minutes, so you guys can wrap this up in like an hour.
Yeah, so I'm okay with the website refreshes. I kind of like it, and I also like how
it's like a little surprise. It's like Christmas every day.
Yeah, that we called it Applemas.
Applemas
throughout the week. On the third day of Applemas, my Tim Cook gave to me, and
Why
now
not
people have started writing a whole song.
What's another religious holiday?
Hanukkah. Homepotica.
Appleica.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, like they want me to sing this song now. They're writing it as the stuff is coming out.
Did you make it up? Or
I sang one verse in a video. I said, on the third day of Applemas, my Tim Cook gave to me. And then I said, I'm going to stop singing now. You should watch my videos. They're funny. But
I should.
Someone in the Discord's like writing the entire version. And they're like, you're going to sing this live. And I'm like, okay.
Wait, who said that? Who said that to you?
Someone in the Discord.
Why would they force you to sing that live?
Oh, they're not. They're just saying
you should.
I got to. Yeah, I don't have to. But
you have a really good singing voice, actually.
If the lyrics are good, I'll do it.
Well, you got to write the lyrics to be good.
They're doing that. They got it.
Okay.
They're writing it all out. Yeah.
You're just the performer.
We have to wait till the days go by to figure out when the stuff's coming out. But there's most amount of evidence there's most amount of evidence that AirPower's coming. There's more evidence than that for either of the other things. Like there's more evidence for AirPower than there is the Red 10S, and there's more evidence of AirPower than the iPod, and yet didn't happen. But today we got pictures of AirPower directly from Apple's website, hidden within the code.
How?
When they upload a bunch of new stuff to the store, but they want to release it slowly throughout the week, they have to upload it to the site. And then it's scheduled to go live throughout the week. Okay. But it's just not visible yet. Right. But if you take a program and just say like show website contents, like show me the code, and you'll see all the media images they have loaded to the site. They found a picture of AirPower with a 10S on it, which has never been seen. The old pictures of AirPower all had the iPhone 10. This one has a more recent picture. And it didn't happen until the AirPods refresh. So people are like...
Now, who is posting this saying, I found the code for the picture?
9to5Mac did it. Mac Rumors did the same thing.
What if it's all a conspiracy? It was a photoshopped picture.
Well, anyone could do it, though. Like Sam did it for my update. You just had to go to the certain website and activate a certain mode, and there it was.
What if Apple was like, psych?
Well, they took it down.
Oh, okay.
I recently saw that because it was getting a lot of traction online. So Apple was like, turn it off, shut it down.
Your 12-year-old voice.
That's what Apple
is very accurate
inside.
Really?
So they also today got the AirPower trademark certified.
Trademark?
They trademarked the word AirPower.
Oh.
For a while, someone else owned it, but they bought it from them, and that
it's kind of like
is official
oxymoronic.
Today.
Like you wouldn't think of air as like powerful. You think of it like like
like windmills that generate electricity. That's AirPower.
Oh, that's the OG AirPower.
That's the OG AirPower.
So Apple
Powered by
should
air.
ask like Sweden for permission to use this, or whoever created windmills.
Some business owned it. I forget who, but they bought it from them, and that trademark
Well,
officially was
Apple
transferred today.
Used to be trademarked by the Beatles.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
They got into a big fight
Apple
about that.
Bought it from them or something. I don't know the exact story. I'm just retelling things that my dad told me.
Right, yeah.
We got another super chat from Wixo Melody.
Oh, Wixo.
Proud supporter of the Tailosive Network. Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. I recognize Wixo. He's a longtime viewer. Some names stick with you. Some of them do. Not all, but
Oh, you recognize him?
Mm-hmm. He's been watching for a while. Yeah, did you know that I found a snake when we got in here?
Yeah, you were telling me about it, and I became very uncomfortable.
I've never found a snake in this office before.
Have you ever found a snake in your boot?
No, I don't know.
You don't even have boots.
Well, I used to. When I
Really?
worked at the ranch, I had boots.
Where are they? I want to see you in boots.
I don't know. They're kind of uncomfortable. They were steel-toed boots.
Wow.
So they were really good for working on the ranch, but they were not like, I wouldn't wear them anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They were good for like if you're laying concrete and stuff.
Right.
Or steel-toed just means that like there's a metal cup
So that if you drop something on your foot.
covering your toes. Yeah. Like you could legit like drop a forklift on the toe of my.
A forklift? Like those really big heavy machine?
Oh yeah. I drove those.
Yeah, but I don't think you'd drop an entire like car on your foot.
No, it's not a car. I just mean like when they
Forklifts.
lower when they
Okay. I
when
thought
they
you meant,
lower
like-
the prongs. If I was for some reason standing there,
Yeah.
they wouldn't go through. They're like because it's just a cup of steel covering the toes.
Well, steel bends at some point.
Yeah, but these.
Can someone tell me the bending point of steel?
All our 9/11 conspiracy theorists come forward.
Yes.
No, don't do that.
Ben said, we could save so much time on this podcast if I just watched your videos. Well, guess what, Ben? I don't have
So many
time
of
to
our-
watch
hey,
his videos.
You know what? So
What?
many of our fans could save us so much time if they watched my videos.
Why?
Fans. There's people that ask me questions all the time that I've answered in videos. And they just don't watch them.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's a really common.
This is like school. Like, why would you ask the teacher questions when it's in the book?
right.
Just read it.
No,
bro.
like people were like, Drew, why do you used to like AirPower? Why don't you like it anymore? And it's like, well, I've explained this.
Wait, you don't like it anymore? See, I don't know this stuff.
Well,
And I live with
if
you.
you watch it, well, it's because I don't come home and tell you about. Well, to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I come home and tell you about tech, but not too much. I try to keep it fresh, keep it clean. You know, keep the life more
Keep
interesting.
it fresh. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Oh
I don't
my
wanna
goodness.
Talk about
are
tech
you
all day.
Are you James Charles?
James Chargles.
Yes.
No, I don't want to come home and talk more about tech. I want to talk about something else. No, like when AirPower first came out, it was really interesting because it had never been done before. And also,
Wait, did Qi chargers not exist at the time?
but this isn't a Qi charger. This is the idea of a wide array of space that you can drop
It's
your
a
phone.
big Qi charger.
No,
Yes.
Apple Watches don't charge via Qi. AirPower charges the Apple Watch, so it's not a Qi charger. It may support phones that have Qi, but I'm just saying the idea of one charger, one cable going to a mat where you can put your headphones, your watch, your phone anywhere you want. Doesn't have to be in a specific spot. That had never been done. So when I saw
wouldn't
it, I was
describe
like,
it as a mat though, because usually like mats are kind of like thinner. The AirPower seems like it looks pretty thick.
it's about as thick as that Apple Watch charge plate we have at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
I
not.
don't know. I don't
it's
have
probably
one.
like twice as big as that, right? Because it's a circle.
It's an oval, yeah. It's pretty wide. But I'm just saying that hadn't been done. So when it came out and they unveiled it, I was like, whoa, like that's new and different, and they treated it differently. That's really interesting. So I was into it, and then it didn't come out. So obviously we bought a bunch of other wireless chargers along the way.
We have
and
like 10 of them now, just
Oh, yeah.
scattered everywhere.
I got tons of Qi chargers.
Which is your favorite? I think
The Pixel stand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
knew it.
It's the most Apple-looking Qi charger.
It's a very clean design, and it's also a fast Qi charger, right?
and it ships with a charge brick. But yeah, I over time, as I used wireless chargers more extensively, I developed more of an opinion on them, and I got to the point where I realized, like, well, these vertical ones make a lot more sense than the flat ones, because the vertical ones, I can still use the phone, and they're pointed at me, so my phone unlocks. So the vertical one makes more sense, which made me realize, okay, AirPower is cool, but it's not that practical, you know?
Right.
It's
I just had a
only
really good idea for a Qi charger.
Oh, okay.
One that you attach to the ceiling so you can lay it in bed and like just have it here and have no chance of the phone falling on your face. And it's like charging.
So how does it hold it?
Clasps.
Oh, it's like a grip? Like
but it charges it while it's like gripped in.
I think those exist.
Really?
Aren't there like car mounts that are kind of like that? They're like they hold the phone and they charge it simultaneously.
I think you have to like actually plug it in though.
What would you do with this?
Qi charger.
Yeah, where does the Qi charger get its power from?
From the wire that's attached to the ceiling and then like wired to the wall.
So it is plugged in.
Well, AirPower is going to be plugged in.
Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't.
So it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Just floating.
Right.
And it has a grippy thing.
Really long grip. So it's just charging and then it hovers above your face.
And you could just let go. You could still... There should be an automatic Twitter scroller.
Ooh.
So that you could just lay there.
Or use your eyes.
I'm like going down the whole of like
What if you could
Wall-E?
look at the bottom of the screen and it would like start to scroll, and then when you look at the main part, it stops. They could add that now.
Like eye tracking.
Well,
What is that called?
Face ID already does that.
Iris tracking.
No, the Face Unlock tracks your eyes.
Right.
They know where you're
so
looking.
they just need to
Twitter could add that like right now if they
code
wanted
that
to.
into how the screen
It
scrolls.
definitely should be a mode that you toggle on though, because that would use a ton of battery.
Yeah.
If
it's constantly looking at your eyes.
Right, but the idea is you'd be using this while charging. So that should be how it works. Like the eye tracking thing doesn't work unless you're on a charger. Because with your idea,
or if you're at like 100% battery.
yeah, like if you're over 80%, let's say, then it works.
Yeah.
And if you're under 80%, you need to be connected to a
You
charger.
gotta conserve energy.
This could work.
Yes.
No, you guys, have you heard of Emoji? You have Animoji and Memoji on the iPhone 10. Memoji.
You can't say Memoji like it's mimosa. Mimosa.
Memoji. That's how Tim pronounces it.
Really?
No, it looks it. You can tell where have you heard of attention awareness?
What
Like if I don't look at my iPhone directly, it won't unlock. Look, you guys, go do a recording with Animoji and move your eyes around. Like they can track that. They can tell where you're looking. It's
Wait,
not
do
hard.
I have Animoji?
Yeah, you're on the Tennis Max.
I never use it.
It's great.
I should
The
try
last Tailosive Tech podcast we recorded, we did the whole thing with our emojis on. It was really hard because we wanted to laugh.
I thought your podcast is just audio, is it not?
Yeah, but we're FaceTiming.
Oh, so people can't see it, but you
People
guys
can't see us, but we can. We can see each other. So
Did you take each other seriously?
Barely. We were laughing the whole time, but we were trying to keep it inside.
Professional.
We put the Animojis on our faces because we were all calling via iPad Pros, which have
Wow.
the face tracking and everything.
You guys are so
And
cool.
we just talked, and what the great thing about it is like because Randy's very expressive, and when he talks, he kind of looks around the room, and his Animoji character did that.
His
It looks around,
eyeballs
he's
start
like,
going in different directions.
it's very good. Like the animation, like it messes up on occasion, but for the most part, like the
Does
eye
it look
tracking,
just like you?
well, obviously, like if Pixar animated me, yeah.
I want to see what yours looks like. I'll let you know if it's accurate.
Here, I'll bring it up. I have it here. Viper should be a permanent tech podcast.
Wait,
yeah.
has he been on your...
He has.
How many times?
Just once. But I was on his podcast once too, so we're one for one.
What is his podcast called? Let's plug him real quick.
Viper podcast. Or
How does
Vipe
he have
Drive?
time for a podcast and like all the live streams he does?
I think he enjoys it. He loves doing it.
What does he do for work?
Uh,
I mean, maybe he
yeah,
makes enough money
do-
from this.
I
too.
do know what he does for work, but I
What?
can't remember if I'm allowed to say. So I'm just gonna.
He's in the FBI, guys.
No, I'm just.
No, he's in the witness protection
It's nothing
program.
top secret. It's just like with you, we don't tell people who you work for or where you work.
I mean, I've told people before, but
on the podcast,
somewhere on the internet,
okay,
you can find it.
Well, I can't remember if he told me that off the record or on the record, so I'm just gonna assume I'm not supposed to say. But yeah, he works at a company.
He works at a company where people work with desks and chairs and computers.
Let me bring up my Memoji.
Memoji.
Yeah, it looks just like me.
That's a poop.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
I look like poop.
No,
okay.
You don't.
Is there a way I can show you guys this?
Turn the brightness down a little bit. It's overexposed.
Okay. Let me lower the brightness. It looks like me.
You look like Jimmy Neutron if he was a ginger and had a beard.
And then I can switch to this one, which has a cowboy hat on.
I want to be a cowboy,
So,
baby.
when I use this Animoji, I use my regular one.
Can I see it up close?
Yeah. I use my regular one, and then I go, sorry, it's a stretch.
Hey, mine's still on
when
here.
I can't no more. And then I switch to the cowboy hat one, and I go, I got the horses in the bag.
What?
It's a meme. Fancy Viper with his desks and chairs. You think you'd
Wait,
be
can we
better
show
than-
them mine? I don't know if this is very accurate. I look very brown in it.
They could probably barely tell.
Can I zoom in?
No, you have to create your own Emoji, which I personally think is a good idea. I think
I remember when you had, I think it was some Android.
it was the S9.
That one was so accurate, like it was creepy.
Mm-mm.
I thought it was accurate.
When I did
As
it,
your wife.
they gave me like dark hair. They gave me like black hair.
Other than the wrong color hair, the face was like
They
on
made me
point.
super tan.
Hun, you looked hot.
My AR emoji looked cringy.
Do you still have
was
a
awful.
picture of that? We should find that later so I can.
Yeah, I
Look
put
at
it
it.
in my review of the S9.
So that means I have to watch a video.
Yeah. Once again.
Do you remember
for the
I used to
super chat,
watch all your
Wixo.
videos?
You did. I remember when you used to.
That's
Even
back
though-
when like we didn't like live in the same town. So whenever I
same
missed
country.
you, I would just watch your videos and be like, "Oh, he's right here next to me. Here, you can have this back."
Thank you. The
Thank
peasant
you,
phone.
Wixo, for the
Yeah, thanks for the
super chat.
dono.
Is this? Do you think this is one of his free
Yeah, maybe
99
that's
cent
one of
ones?
his freebies. It's cool that YouTube's doing that.
Why
now.
are only some people
That's
getting
great.
it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got that notification. They haven't been like, hey, maybe it's because I'm on the family plan or something.
Oh.
Maybe
So
if
maybe
you're on the
they just
individual
chose
plan.
one person to have the $2 free
Yeah, they might lose too much money on the family plans for them to do the giveaways.
for everyone.
Yeah, that could be the sitch.
Ooh, Verizon.
Ooh. Can you mute that?
How do I do that?
Just turn the volume off on the touch bar.
Did I do that?
No, like if you have YouTube Premium, you're supposed to get 2 free super chats. I've seen that alert a couple times.
So it's
It's kinda
everyone,
cool.
correct?
Well, I don't have it, even though I pay for YouTube Premium. So
No, you pay for YouTube Red.
it's
Bread.
YouTube Red's not a thing.
I know, but
It's-
that's what you
it's-
paid for. You're still paying the same price.
So you're saying if I cancel my plan
Yes.
and go back,
Mhm.
then it'll show up?
Yep.
Okay. We'll have to
Except
figure
you'll be
that out.
paying for more. 'Cause
So
YouTube Premium costs more.
yeah, exactly.
It's 15, right? 15 a month?
No, I think
12?
it's 12.
Okay.
When I signed up for YouTube Red, it was 10. And well, no, we got the family plan because I like shared it between all my friends, and then they all just paid me, and it was like 5 people or something for $15 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically got to remove ads for like $3 or whatever because we had all these people in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good deal. What you need to do now is make new YouTube accounts, get the free trial for YouTube Premium.
It's for
use
what,
your-
1 month?
Use your 2 free super chats and then cancel the
Dude,
trial.
that person in the chat that did that literally said, like, I'm on the free trial, but here's the $2 free.
That's kind of great.
So you can cancel it,
Yeah, just start a new plan and then
but they probably gain enough customers that it offsets any of the costs.
who knows? They make a lot of dumb
Marketers
decisions.
know.
Maybe they're losing money. I heard YouTube
They wouldn't
loses
exist.
money. Well, Google pays for all this, but
Oh.
YouTube themselves lose.
Google's
money.
like the rich sugar daddy.
Mm-hmm. All Google does is throw money at things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Usually makes problems go away.
Yeah. Well, Google Plus is going away, so
What is that?
that's a problem.
What is Google Plus?
Thank God you don't know.
What?
Back in 2012, I think they launched it. Google wanted to make their own social network, like Facebook or Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So they force-fed it to everyone via YouTube.
Oh, that's why my old YouTube channel disappeared.
Really?
Because I couldn't use my old like username because it was like all Gmail or your email.
Mm.
And I don't know how to access.
In order to have a YouTube account, you had to have a Google Plus. But
Yeah, I
they're
think I
finally
remember
shutting
that.
it down.
Good.
They're like next month.
How is that
which-
even a social media? That's just an email, isn't it?
No, it's like a whole site. You could make posts and you could upload videos to it.
But I doubt anyone ever did.
No, that's why they're shutting it down. It's because like no one was
After
on
7 years,
it.
Google.
But
get
they
a grip.
made everyone go to it. Anytime you wanted to change your profile picture on YouTube, you had to do it through Google Plus. You couldn't do it through YouTube.
Isn't it still like that?
I think they're changing it now, obviously, because
Right, but it's still like that currently.
I'm not sure. I only change my profile pictures once a year. So last time I did it, I don't think I needed to go to Google Plus. I think they changed it. But I remember it being like that for a long time. It was always like, oh, go to Google Plus if you want to change this. Go to Google Plus. Go to Google Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not fun. But
It really proves that you can't force social media to be successful.
no, I think
It's
that's a good example. Like I've never heard of a company, like a big company, create a social network site that kind of blows up. It's very rare. Like
Who created
Usually-
Instagram? Facebook.
though, I don't know if they created it. I think
They bought it.
It's always a startup that creates a social network and then it explodes and they expand. That's always what happens. Snapchat did that. Facebook did that. YouTube did that. And they get bought out along the way. I remember when Facebook bought Instagram. I don't think Instagram was started by Facebook. But I remember Facebook starting a Snapchat competitor called Slingshot that died like that.
Wait, who did?
Facebook.
Oh, okay.
They were like, we want to be Snapchat. So they just made an exact clone of it and no one used it. So they just started integrating all the Snapchat features into
Facebook.
Yeah.
I hate those Facebook stories.
I
And they're
know.
different than Messenger stories too. So it's like confusing.
They're not even synchronized. Yeah.
No.
Why do they have to be separated?
Because there are people on your Facebook that you don't want to talk to or something.
Another good example is Ping. Apple tried to make a social media network.
I also don't like Bing.
Well, that's not a social media,
I
but
know.
it's a search engine.
I just wanted to say I don't like them.
Why do you not like Bing?
I just remember there's so many ads for them, and it just didn't seem like as streamlined or as smooth of an experience as just regular Google.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
And they were like,
I don't
"This is
use Bing.
the better search engine," but
So they're snarky.
kind of.
That kind of reminds me of Spotify right now.
No, all the people in the chat are like, "I love Bing. I use Bing."
I
Well,
don't know.
I'm not saying you can't use it. I just don't like it.
Yeah. No, that's a lot of what the tech channel is, hon.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the most part, search engines all kind of do the same thing with slight iterations. It's just everyone uses Google. And there's actually a really funny backstory with the name Bing.
What?
They originally wanted to call it Bang. But
So
then
people would say like, "I love Bang."
No.
Or,
When people started saying Google kind of blew up because they kind of started marketing that term. Just Google it.
yeah. So
And
it's just
then Bang wanted realized that they couldn't market the word. Just bang it. They were that didn't work, so they had to change their name to Bing.
I feel like that would
just
help
Bing
it blow up.
Kind of make it funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
My
guess they
main
weren't.
goal is to bang it. And forget I don't know
Just bang it.
nobody.
Yeah, nowadays that probably would have helped them because people would have been like, "Don't Google it, bang it."
Yeah.
They didn't want to embrace Excuse me. They didn't want to embrace meme
Wow.
culture, I guess.
Wow.
Isn't it Microsoft? Yeah, Microsoft owns Bing.
How
Microsoft
does
isn't
Microsoft still exist? What do they even do?
well. Their Surface products are pretty successful, and Windows is like the most popular OS in the whole world. So
Are
that's
people
pretty
still
big.
mad about Windows 10?
Some are. I am, but a ton of people love it. That aren't me. I've had just terrible experiences with it. So because of my experience, I hate it. But other
I
people
remember
have had.
Windows 7
Yeah,
back
me
in
too.
like 2008.
Back when I got my first PC, Windows 7 was like the latest Windows version. And it worked pretty good. I didn't really have that many complaints with it. I can't think of many issues I had with Windows 7, but I can think of a ton of issues I had with Windows 10. But yeah, I read in the news they're about to cut all of its support. So like if you still have Windows 7, they're going to
Why?
cut you off because
That's
they want you to get 10.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. They're weird like
What
that.
are they gaining by making everyone change to something they don't want to do?
They sell your data on Windows 10. So the more data they have, the more money they make. That's why a lot of people like.
Does Windows 10 have like more ads or something, or what?
No, they just monitor all your data.
So why can't they do that on Windows 7?
It wasn't designed for that.
Okay, redesign it
Windows.
to make it look like that and steal our data.
I would be okay with that. I would be okay if they did all the data mining. Just do it with the Windows 7 design scheme because I don't like all the Windows 10 touchscreen looking
the
design tiles.
boxy things.
Yeah,
Those
them
are-
trying to be all touch friendly, even though most devices that run Windows 10 don't have touch screens. Even though they're like, yeah, we're touch friendly.
It looks like pretty and bright with all the colors and stuff, but it's not practical.
No.
really on a
No, I think the
desktop.
best parts of Windows 10 were all the things that reminded people of 7. And so I was like, just go full on 7. That's what I liked about Apple is that they didn't change the desktop operating systems into the touchscreen operating systems. They kept them separate.
Together is not necessarily better.
Yeah, so they were like, let the desktop be a desktop and let the touchscreen be a touchscreen. And I think that's resulted in a better desktop OS and a better touch OS.
Yeah.
Because if you use a Surface Pro without a keyboard and mouse, you realize like this is not a good touch interface. And you go on a computer and it's like it keeps wanting me to touch it even though I can't touch it. So
My friend Lacey was so I started this new job and my friend Lacey's been working there for a while, so she gave me a little like lowdown on how everything works and like all the different processes I have to know. And she was using a Dell laptop and she was like, going on Google spreadsheet or whatever.
yeah.
And then she started like clicking on the screen. I was like, I didn't even realize it was a touch. It was a touch screen.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool though. It impressed
Yeah.
me for like 2 seconds.
That's what Steve Jobs said about it. Makes good demo, but then you never use it again.
Well, she did it like twice.
It's there for the occasional tap.
Right.
That's about it, though. It's pretty not extensive use for the touchscreen on most of those computers.
It reminds me of the DS a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I just remembered there's only one touch screen. The other screen was just like something you could look at. I remember going into like PictoChat and, drawing stuff or typing stuff in. And then the screen would be so like uncalibrated that whenever you touched one part, it was like on the other side.
Or it would like warp the screen as you're pressing it. It's like this doesn't look
I would
right.
have to recalibrate it so many times.
Yeah.
Maybe my DS just sucked. I actually still have it. Did I tell you I found it?
You do?
Yeah,
It's in your tech bag.
my tech box.
You got a big box of tech.
Yep.
Have you heard
PictoChat was
anything?
lit. Literally, like you could be on the bus and everyone else who had a DS could be in the same like chat room as you. Like everyone was just anonymous. It was like the first Omegle.
Right.
Was Omegle older? I don't remember.
Maybe. It could have been. It's a very traditional site, but have you followed the Spotify situation at all?
No, I haven't. What's happening?
Basically, Spotify is angry at Apple. They don't like Apple. Join the club.
Get in line, buddy.
Get in line. Everyone hates Apple.
Just kidding.
But they think it's unfair that with subscription-based services on the Apple App Store, Apple takes a 30% cut of the revenue. And they are calling, I think, on the European Union to file a claim against Apple that claims that's anti-competitive, and they don't think that fine should be there. So what I wanted to get your feedback on that. What do you think?
Can I tell you the truth?
Yeah.
I was reading chat and I was like completely distracted. Can you re-explain the situations? All I heard was Europe and anti-competitive.
Okay. Well, I'll say it again.
Okay. I'm going to not look at.
I could make a video about it, but
I still wouldn't watch it.
Yeah. Basically, Spotify doesn't like Apple.
Okay.
Because in subscription-based services on the App Store, Apple charges 30% of each subscription. So for you to put your app on the App Store,
I see.
Apple takes 30% of the revenue from whenever someone subscribes to Spotify Premium.
So Spotify is mad that they're only getting 70%?
Yeah.
Literally join the club. This is you and all the other YouTubers who get like 40% of the super chat.
Oh, yeah. No, that's how most app markets work.
Yeah.
Get
over it, Spotify.
Is that they're getting really, really angry. They made this whole cartoon video just about how they hate Apple.
Wow, really?
And they never bring up that Google does the exact same thing on the Play Store.
Is it 30% though?
Yeah.
How is that anti-competitive? It's like you have to be extra competitive
they're claiming
to be a good app.
Apple responded to them saying Spotify wants all the benefits of the App Store
without
having to pay for any of it.
Oh my gosh, freeloaders.
And Spotify was like, that's a monopoly denying that they said something like any monopoly would deny that there is a monopoly present. And I'm saying, if your company is competing with someone else, then it's not a monopoly.
Right.
The definition is there's no other services to go to. There's tons of services to go to.
Do you think Apple charges 30% for Apple Music to be on the...
No,
it's
they
like
might, but it just goes back to
that's
the same
like
place.
When parents charge their kids rent. You are under my roof. You pay me, which goes back to you because I'm buying your food and everything.
And then they pay for all their stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing people are bringing up is that Spotify is notoriously known for paying their artists a lot less than Apple does. But I'm sure Spotify would probably make the claim that, well, we would love to pay artists more, but we have this tax, 30% Apple tax on the App Store that takes our services. Netflix abides by the same rules. Mm-hmm. Any subscription-based service.
Dude, Apple must be making so much money off of Netflix.
Yeah.
And
Apple
I guess
makes a lot of money.
YouTube too, and other big apps? Instagram.
Anytime someone super chats on YouTube from an iOS device, Apple gets 30%.
What? Automatically?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Or maybe they don't. Hold on. I think it's 15 or something. It's like it's different for individual in-app purchases because like Spotify made the claim that like Uber doesn't have this problem. And it's because that's a cost of goods. That's not a
versus
subscription.
the cost of the actual app itself.
Right. Apple's rule is that there's a certain fee for subscriptions and there's a certain fee for cost of goods. Mm-hmm. So like a super chat isn't a subscription, but a like YouTube Premium would be, which is why I think Netflix even has said that they won't let people sign up for Netflix on their app because they'll just say to sign up for Netflix, go to a computer or just go on Safari on your phone.
It's kind of like a loophole.
And it's a loophole because you can sign up for Netflix, and since it's just through the Safari app, they don't take a fee out of it. So a lot of programs are doing that.
Did you do that on a computer? When you subscribed to Netflix?
Oh, I subscribed to Netflix like years
before
ago.
the iPhone existed.
No, not that long ago. I don't remember what I signed up on. I think I signed up on my Mac a long time ago because I think similarly I found this out when I was confused because I would open the Amazon Prime Video app and I would want to rent a movie in there and it wouldn't let me. It was like to rent a film, go to Amazon.com and then it'll show up in the app. And I was like, why don't you just let me do it from the app?
Right.
Now I know. It's like, well, they didn't want to lose that money. So they'd rather you go to a browser.
That's low-key sneaky and low-key really smart.
It's smart and sneaky, and Apple doesn't care. So they're fine with it, Yeah. They're just like, all right, you're lost. Or I lost. But, there's a ton of advantages the iOS App Store has given Spotify, and I just think they're whiny because I don't think that's anti-competitive at all.
They should just take their app off the App Store. Go to Google. Who cares?
They are on Google. It's
Yeah.
just no one uses them. No one uses the Play Store.
Well, isn't most of the smartphone market Android?
Yeah, but the amount of money spent on the Play Store compared to the amount of money spent on the iOS App Store is like night and day.
Spent like to Apple, like paid to Apple, or are you talking about Spotify just themselves?
No, like as a whole. The iOS App Store makes like way more money than the Play Store. Even though the Play Store is available to more people who'd buy Android.
Are apps like more expensive, or
No,
why?
They're usually cheaper.
Why are they making more money?
Because there's just a general trend that if you buy Android, you don't spend as money on apps as iPhone users do. Then that probably has something to do with Androids on average costing a lot less, meaning the people who buy them don't really have, not that they don't have as much money, but they don't want to spend as much money on their phone. Whereas people who buy iPhones are willing to spend this much, which means that $1 app or a $10 app, they don't care. They'll
I feel like I'm inherently an Android user.
Yeah, it's just
because
me.
I don't like spending money.
Well, all your phones are from me.
Yeah.
But you like the Pixel, though that is not a frugal Android phone.
Yeah.
That is a pricey Android phone.
It starts at $900.
That one you used, yeah, $900. There's a tiny one that's $800, but they actually slashed the prices because they weren't selling very well. So now they're all $200 cheaper now.
Really?
Yeah, which isn't good. That depreciates your phone so fast. That's why we can't sell that
Right.
thing. No one wants to pay more than
Well, I'd be willing to
$200 for it.
Well, I'd let it go for like $250,
Really?
$300. It was free
I
to
don't know.
us.
Yeah, I'd rather just keep it for that. It has Android Q on it.
I don't know what that means.
It's the next version of Android, which does nothing. But
We had a couple super chats. Can I read them real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Purple Stash said nothing, but he donated. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Felipe said, too long didn't read. Crappy service wants attention.
They want
Very
attention. True. Yeah. Anti-competitive would be Apple saying, we run Apple Music now, so you can't have Spotify on the App Store. That would be more monopoly, in my opinion. The idea that the competing brand won't let the other brand succeed on their own site. Apple's letting Spotify be there. Sure, they're not promoting it, and they're definitely going to make sure that users on their store see Apple Music before they see Spotify. That was one argument Spotify
This is kind of
up.
like when you go to an expensive restaurant and complain about the prices. Go to a cheaper restaurant.
Yeah.
Go to McDonald's.
Yeah. No, they were complaining that if they wanted to do a limited time offer, Apple wouldn't let them advertise it on the App Store, like a deal or something, because they want people to get Apple Music.
Wow. Just for Spotify directly, not any other music streaming service?
I don't know if they applied it to others because I was hearing it from Spotify's perspective, but I'm just saying, like,
maybe they're like the biggest threat. Is
they're
Pandora still a
this-
thing?
I don't know. I think so. I think they're still around. But like they were comparing it to like a tennis game, and they're like, the Apple's not playing by the rules. It's time to play fair. And it's like, this is business, dude. Like, the companies
Also, they are the ball. Like,
you're not playing against someone in tennis. You're at Apple's court.
yeah.
Apple owns the court. Apple owns the net. Apple owns the tennis rackets. Apple owns everything. You just showed up. So you don't get to say like, oh, this isn't fair. It's like, well, we own the place. So if you don't like the way we play, then you don't have to be here. You can just go home. Where else are you going to play?
Right.
You know? So it's like, it's a little mean, but ultimately that's how businesses work. They compete with each other.
That's how mafia works.
That's how mafia works.
We had another super chat from DJ Thornton. Isn't that a famous person? No, I'm thinking Bella Thornton.
No, but I know who DJ is.
Bella Thornton? Thorn? Oh, you know? He said, look at Star Tech real quick. I don't know what that means.
He's just showing me all his accessories he bought because DJ purchased a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema, and he got his.
Oh, when are you supposed to get yours?
Well, he ordered his in December and got it like 3 months later.
Wow.
So we ordered mine when?
Like a week ago?
Not a week ago. It was like
About
a month or so ago. So I wouldn't expect That was
a month ago already?
Yeah, it was definitely not last week. I remember getting an email about it several weeks ago that said item still on back order.
Okay.
So, yeah, Pandora has been forgotten.
Literally, anytime I ask a question, everyone comes out of the woodworks. It's like, of course, it's still there. I'm sorry.
They didn't adapt with the times, I guess. But the funny thing is, more people use Spotify than Apple Music.
But it's cheaper. It's like
there's a free version of Spotify.
Right. But there's no free version of Apple Music.
No.
I just use YouTube Red.
Yeah.
Because they can do automatic mixes based off of one song and like based off of songs that you like.
Right.
Like you can have a playlist tailored to you and it's lit. Fam.
Yeah, it is lit. It's just funny to me that a company that's bigger than their competitor is complaining that their competitor is a monopoly.
I don't think
we're
they're
not even the
necessarily
biggest piece of the
like
puzzle.
maybe they're bigger in the sense of like user base. I actually don't know any of the data, but I feel like Apple's making more money because they're on their own Play Store.
Well, also they're just a bigger company.
Yeah,
there's a lot more.
And it's
that.
more expensive. There's no free option.
Apple owns an entire app market. Apple owns all the hardware that the app market's available on. They design all the software. So yeah, they're a bigger company.
They are the tennis court.
I'm just saying, like Apple. This isn't a simple game of, tennis.
Of chess.
It's not player versus player. This is player who's in the house. You're in Apple's house playing tennis, and
you're in the Lord's house now.
If the guy who owns the house that you're playing tennis with hits the ball and it goes and it's a foul and he says it was in and you say, hey, no, it wasn't, and he says, yes, it is, then you can either leave or accept that.
I don't even think that's what they're doing. I don't think they're doing anything illegal or against the rules.
Well,
they're creating the rules.
No, I don't think it's against the law. I just mean Spotify's trying to pull the ethical card.
Well, ethical is different than
they're saying.
What?
They pull out a card and say, "This isn't right."
Is this your card?
It's like, I mean, imagine if let's flip the cards for a second.
Imagine found tennis match.
Oh, see, this is all coming back to Tennis Max.
Also, hi Nick in the chat.
Hey, how's it going? Imagine if Apple claimed that Samsung was anti-competition because their phones were cheaper. That doesn't make sense. It's like, well, yeah, it's of course we're competing with you, so we're making a product that is cheaper and arguably better in a lot of ways. Therefore, we have the upper hand for a lot of people buying a new phone. So Spotify is just pointing out that Apple has the upper hand, and then Apple's basically like, yeah. That's how businesses work, dude. The one they make, the one that's better wins, and the one that can't survive doesn't win. It's that simple. So
it's eat or be eaten.
Exactly. It's a bug world out there. Ryan
in the chat asked if you ordered the new AirPods. Mm-hmm. Did we already talk about this? About what you ordered?
I talked about it on my tech video. I guess they didn't see that.
I'm sorry. I didn't see it either.
You saw it on our bank account.
Well, yes, obviously. But
what do you think about the price? Are they too much?
Uncomfortable laugh. I mean, yes, it's
you
a lot of money.
You probably thought the first gen was too much.
Yeah. I mean, worth is subjective, of course. And Drew and I have this argument all the time about what worth means.
Yes, that was the last podcast.
Yeah.
But you got your last AirPods for free.
Yes.
So that's pretty hard to compete with.
Those were definitely worth it. And I use them every day now that I can do that at my job.
Did you hear about the benefits of the new AirPods?
They play music.
The last ones did that. Do you know what these do? Do you care?
Do they cure cancer?
Yes.
What kind?
Pancreatic.
That's very specific.
Yeah, Steve Jobs could have used them.
Oh, Drew. That's your
Wah, wah.
leader. How dare you
anymore.
disrespect him
Tim Cook's our
beyond the
leader now.
grave.
The future is now, old man. Felipe super chatted and said, Spotify, I'm vegan.
Wait, is Apple the meat? They're
Yeah.
like, I can't have you anymore.
I don't eat that. No, Spotify can't back out of Apple. They'd lose like 80% of their income. So I would say, don't get mad. Because if Apple wanted to, I think they could technically, without getting in trouble, kick them off the site if they wanted to. And I don't
Do they
think
have
they'd
a
get in
contract
trouble.
with each other? Like, you are allowed on our website or our
There's-
Play Store.
There's
For,
probably some rule in the dev terms and conditions that says if we don't deem you good enough for our app store, then we won't approve you. And they would get a lot of backlash for it. But but if they wanted to, if Apple was just a bunch of jerks, they could just be like, screw you, Spotify, go home. Bunk. And then like knock them off the...
They're tiny bugs.
Yeah. I mean, they would probably get in big trouble for that. And the public eye would
And
hate
would
them for it.
probably start losing money just from the reputation.
Yeah. Plus,
Apple's unfair.
Spotify's in those top charts on the App Store. So every time someone subscribes to Spotify on their phone, Apple gets that 30%. They make a lot of money off Spotify too. So, yeah. That'd be funny if Steve Jobs be like, nah, fam, let me just eat some fruit. That's what he did.
I think that's exactly what
It's
he
legit
did.
what he did. He had a very, very treatable form of cancer.
Treatable by...
Oh, like he could have gotten chemo. Like he didn't have he
okay.
didn't have a lethal form of cancer.
So why didn't he want to live? Or, I mean, maybe
Have
he...
you seen that Vsauce meme where he's like, I've decided that I want to die?
No.
That's a
Why?
good one. It's in a lot of memes. It's like, iPhone battery is at 80%. 10 minutes later, I have decided that I want to die.
Mm-hmm.
No. He was a hippie. And Steve Jobs, even later in his life, was very much into the self-healing aspects of, like I can cure myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need treatment. I don't need medical attention. And he legit was just like, I'll just eat a lot of fruit and go on some walks and that'll take care of the cancer for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't. And that's why he's not here anymore, is because he was arrogant. He's a very arrogant person. And a lot of doctors were urging him. They were like, you have a very good chance of surviving this. You just need to do chemo.
Right.
And he was like, no chemo. I won't do it. I'll cure my own cancer. So,
I mean, that's pretty ballsy.
yeah, it's pretty stupid. If he was less arrogant, he'd be alive today. It's kind of crazy to think about what Apple would be like if he was still around. No idea. What are you laughing at?
Jay said Steve Jobs is less than Tiny Cook. I think he meant Tim Cook but Tiny Cook. I just imagined like a chef
Did you see that meme
2 inches tall.
someone posted in our Discord once? I think The Onion wrote that article. It was like
What?
Tim Cook introduces Tim Cook Mini. He's like holding a little version of himself
Yes,
up on
cute.
stage.
That was funny.
Oh my God. Tiny Cook. He just has a little Tiny Cook, like Remy from Ratatouille.
Oh, okay.
That's a tiny chef.
Tiny Cook.
Maybe he wanted to die. Maybe
I
he
mean,
saw
his
where
life
Apple
was kind of
going.
hard, wasn't it?
I mean,
Like
not when
his
he ended.
personal life.
Yeah, he had that kind of figured out by the time he was 40. All the rough parts and drama parts of his life when he was earlier was all like in the 90s.
What did his daughter think? Like, did she try
Lisa?
to convince him? I don't know.
What do you mean convince him of what?
To get chemo?
Oh, probably. Yeah, probably.
It's like, how do you react to like your dad having cancer and being unwilling to help himself?
He probably wouldn't talk about it very much.
So he would just pretend that it doesn't exist?
Yeah, he'd pretend it's fine.
How would anyone know about this unless he told them? Right? Like, did he try to keep it a secret? that
Probably
he had
people
it?
at the company.
Well, how though? Only it's
Well, because he was in
patient.
the hospital for a while.
Okay, just be like, I just wanted to go to the hospital. It's my vacation
I remember someone
spot.
saying they were talking to him like near the last couple days of his life, and he said something like, or was it to Tim Cook once? He was talking to Tim Cook near like his last couple months, and he said something like, "Don't do what I would do. If you're running Apple, don't try to think what would Steve do. Just do the right thing." So that's the important thing to remember when people are.
But
like,
isn't that what he did?
Steve
When he was
wouldn't-"
running the country, he was like, how would I run this company?
Yeah, he
wasn't
ran
saying,
the country.
I said company.
You said country.
No, I did not.
Play the
Someone
replay.
rewind that. I said
Here, hold
company.
We'll find it here.
You're annoying.
We'll find it.
It's my vacation spot.
Hold on.
But isn't that what he did? When he was running the country, he was like,
There we go.
I'm sorry, I didn't
all right.
believe you. I literally say that all the time
It's
on
all right.
accident.
No worries.
I'm sorry, guys.
No
I'm a
worries.
fraud.
Anyways, what do you mean? That's how he did it? Like Steve did?
Well, obviously, he was thinking to himself, how would I run this company? How would Steve Jobs run this company?
Yeah,
because
but
he
he was
was
saying-
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, but he was saying like, when someone else takes over Apple, don't try to think what would Steve do.
Well, is he insinuating that what he was doing at the time was not the right thing to do? He's like, don't do it how I would do it.
Well,
do it the right way.
maybe
'cause
he
I've been
had-
effing up.
Maybe he had retrospect because he was gonna die. He was like, "Well, I've messed up in a lot of ways." So he's like, "Just do the right thing. Don't
I mean,
do."
who hasn't though?
I mean, I think it was smart to say like, don't focus your whole company's success off of what I would have wanted, because then you're always going to be wrong because you don't know what I would have wanted because I'll be gone and I'll be dead. So just focus on what you think is right, because that's what I did when I was in charge of Apple. I just did what I thought was right. So as soon as he died, yeah, they had increased the size of the iPhone and they made a smaller iPad and they did a bunch of things he never did. So, and I liked that they did that. I like
They
big
created the Apple Pencil. He was probably ticked by that.
phones. Yeah, maybe.
Well, he said styluses shouldn't exist, right?
You kind of have to get the context of what he was saying.
What was he
in.
saying?
The context was there were phones when he launched the iPhone that only worked with a stylus. That's what he was comparing it to. Like, he was saying, you don't want a phone that you have to use a stylus with it. He was saying the finger is the main input
That
device.
is the stylus.
And also, there is no stylus, Apple-made stylus that supports the iPhone. Still, to this day. The only stylus Apple makes works on iPads, which is good for drawing, which ultimately I think Steve would have been fine with, because artists like to draw, and he wasn't going to tell all the artists, no, you have to draw with your finger. Like, that doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I think with context, they still have respected that idea. But it's
so
very...
was the DS the original iPad? It had a stylus.
It is. But no, yeah, like there were phones at the time that only took a stylus, and he didn't want that. That's all he was saying. But yeah, the stylus on a 3.5-inch screen, like,
It'd be much more precise than a finger.
right? But with a screen that tiny, you can't really get too precise anyway. On a screen like this, you can get pretty precise. But yeah, that's probably why we still don't have Apple Pencil support on the iPhones. Probably. Maybe they'll change that. Who knows? I won't use it. Like AirPower.
What? I thought you wanted to buy AirPower.
No.
Not even a try?
Nah.
What? Who are you?
I just want it to be over with. I just want it to come out. Everyone's going to hate
This
it.
is like a new interesting product that you don't want to even try. I mean,
Well, there are
you bought
people
me
who have offered to send it to me. Like, I won't reject it. But I'm not following it and covering it because it's useful.
It is useful.
How? I thought you hated
Is
expensive
this how you
things.
convince me to buy things?
Yes, go on.
Well, if it can actually, is it only the Generation 4 Apple Watches it can charge, or is it
No.
all?
The 3.
But it's a curved back, so how would that work?
You just rest the 3 on it and charges. Or the 4.
I don't know. It sounds kind of cool with a charging case for your AirPods and the phone and your watch. Could we put 2 watches and 2 phones?
I don't think there's enough room.
They should make an extra long version.
Yeah, that would be
fits. Cool. They should call it the couples version. So it's 2
AirPower.
phones.
It's in the shape of a heart.
No.
I thought that was cute. Wasn't that cute? It could come out. It's in a pink and red color.
I'm sorry, hon, that was not a good idea. You're cute, but the idea is not cute. Anyways, couples version fits 2.
What shape is it?
It's going to be the same shape. Oh, no, it could be
How
square.
could it be the same shape? It's too small.
An oval, longer.
Just a big oval?
Yeah. So it could fit 2 iPhones, 2 Apple Watches, and 2 AirPod cases. And you just have to kind of like MacGyver it in a way that fits perfect.
But like Ben says, we have like 11 Qi chargers. Why do we need AirPower?
Well, if you had like 11 pairs of shoes that were crap and had 1 nice pair of shoes that was versatile.
So our Qi chargers are crap?
They work like those ugly shoes, but I'd rather have the nice pair of shoes.
So what if AirPower's $150? Is it worth it to you?
Worth is subjective. It's up to you.
That's why I asked to you. I'm asking you specifically.
No.
Okay.
I can tell you that. But you mean a lot to me, so if you want to get it, I think you should.
Thank you. Well, I likely won't have to because there's still people who are offering it to me.
I got friends.
I got friends, and they had they said when it came out that they wanted to send me one, so I was kind of like, okay, whatever. But I mostly want it just for the animations. That's legit it.
Animations?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
There are special animations on the iPhone when you drop things on AirPower that look really amazing.
Yeah.
Because
it's just a picture of Tim Cook and his doll. Imagine if that popped up every time.
Hold on. The audience knows what I'm talking about. I'll bring it up here. Okay. So I'm just going to search.
I did not call his baby ugly. What does that even mean?
My baby of an idea.
Oh.
My heart-shaped AirPower. Okay. So when you drop your phone on AirPower, let's see if this loads here.
The bezels are like extra thick.
No, this is a freeze frame. Oh, here it's loading. Yeah, it was.
I apologize for my laugh, guys. I know I'm breathing super heavily into this. Show them that picture, though. It's like giant bezels.
She's seeing the first frame of the GIF, and it just looks like an iPhone with giant bezels. But no, this is
Introducing the iPhone 12.
It only plays when I'm not in the freaking...
Drew.
What?
Did you just heckin' curse? He's inappropriate, guys. I'm sorry.
The Wi-Fi is being weird because I'm streaming. It's
The Wi-Fi is being weird?
Yeah, it's like everything's loading slowly, and I pay so much for this. It's because I'm streaming, and I'm kind of far from the router. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. I don't want your stupid email newsletter. Get that crap out of here.
That's a nice picture you got there.
Okay. When you drop the phone on AirPower, it shows your phone, and it like spins up, shows that it's charging, and then spins down into your like widget area. And then anything else you drop on AirPower, it does a new animation for it. So if you drop your AirPods on, they'll like pop out of the case, and then they'll go back in, and then they spin
on the
around
iPhone
on the phone screen.
Oh,
and you can't.
So they know exactly what's being dropped on.
Right.
How?
AirPower communicates. There's like a little computer inside of AirPower
That's
that tells the iPhone. So when you're charging all your stuff,
dude, the future is now.
See it? There, it's loading.
I saw that.
Okay, it'll loop here, so you can get. Okay.
Well, point it my way. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
See,
you see
they
that?
created AirPower for single people because it literally just fits one set of everything. So it's like if you're married or there's a couple of you living in the house, you need to buy two AirPower. That's crazy. Hey,
AirPower's for lonely single people.
Hey, I was not lonely when I was single.
You were lonely when you started dating.
Yes, exactly. No, I'm just kidding.
You always say that now.
Why?
Like you used to say like you're super independent and you didn't mind being by yourself, but now that we're married, like you don't like being alone or by yourself.
Marriage makes you crazy. Yeah. A little bit.
Oh, it looks so good.
Maybe just women though.
It makes me crazy too. I act crazy. Go crazy. Have you seen? You know that meme?
I think you showed that to me.
Are you thinking of that guy now?
Is that the same guy from D's Nuts?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, look, there's one with the iPhone 8.
Wait, does the animation work though?
Oh my God. Nothing's loading. I can't see anything.
Our Wi-Fi sucks.
I'm so ready to move. By the way, we're going to be doing some tests after this.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the stuff on our list.
No, we talked about some of it. After today's podcast, we're going to take the Blackmagic camera home and mess around with some angles in my next office.
Mm-hmm. What?
Go absolutely
bonkers. Bonkers.
Sup's getting a Tesla.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Isn't Sup like 12? Oh, no, we had this conversation.
Oh my God, we had this. No, he's
okay.
He's like 20 years old. He just got a new job.
He's 20 years old and can afford a Tesla.
Sorry, 25 or whatever.
Okay.
He's older than me, I think. And he it's not that he can like afford one. It's just that he chose a particular job that's on the road, and his boss gave him a budget of $300 a month to spend on a lease for a car.
Holy crap.
So they were like, just for taking this job, here's dedicated money for a car payment.
That's crazy.
So he's getting a used Model X for the first month, and then once his Model S delivers, he'll have a Model S.
Not the Model Y?
No, that's not available
Model
for another
Y not?
2 years.
Oh, okay.
Sup said, yeah, lemonade stands are paying these days. I love Sup, like as a fan. He's just hilarious.
No. Drew loves Sup more than he loves me.
No, that's not true. Sup,
Loki.
I hate you.
Hey.
Because my wife is amazing.
You don't have to hate people.
Okay. I am neutral on you, Sup.
Well, what's your name, first of all? So I don't have to call you Sup. Okay. Chris, if you're ever driving by Northern California, stop by, visit us, and we'll ride in your Tesla.
I'd love to ride in your Tesla. And
any Tesla owners, actually, hit us up.
You should just park your Tesla outside with the key in it. And that way I don't have to see you.
Hey.
What? I'm trying to backpedal here because you said I loved him more than you.
Rob says Sup is greater than Louise. Confirmed. It's true, guys. Sup is actually taking my place in the podcast. This is my last one. I will be joining.
Oh, no.
So it's been a good run.
No.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Tailosive Talks podcast.
This GIF still hasn't loaded.
We can do this later.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank y'all.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
See you all later. Bye-bye.
Adios. Auf Wiedersehen.